have a guest author on today. Her name is Lisa Carmichael, and she's going to be talking to us about something that I really, really love, and I have for a long time now incorporated into my life to kind of counter the constant stream of negative self-speak that I do in my head, that probably a lot of us do in our heads. And it's affirmations. And these are specifically directed towards a certain aspect in your life. And I think it's going to be really, really interesting. So stay tuned. Hey, family, if you're looking for the perfect gift for the reader in your life, why not check out one of my books? They're all available on Amazon and most major online book retailers. All right, guys, as promised, I have Lisa Carmichael with us today. She's going to tell us all about her book and her really exciting adventures right now. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. And, so let's start off with the really wild part right now, which is the fact that you are in Italy right now. We are conducting this interview transcontinental here.
We are. Time difference and everything, we're making it work. I love it.
So now, actually, now that you said that, so it's about 10 o'clock here. What time is it there for you? 10 a.m. here.
It's 3 p.m.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
I know. Do you lose track?
I do. I lose track of the time. I lose track of the days. But, that's, life is short. Why do we have to be attached to our time?
So true. Yeah. And what a great adventure. Can you say what brings you to Italy right now?
Yeah. Well, two things. First of all, my daughter is a senior in college. And so for her last semester of college, she chose to study abroad. So she is in Florence. Actually, she's in Paris right now, the little stinker. Wow. So the two of us have become world travelers. So when she signed up for the semester in Florence, I knew I had to come visit her. And while I was visiting her, I also dovetailed a writer's retreat. So I'm in a women's owned vineyard in Trequanda, Italy, which is in Tuscany Valley. And I'm having the most amazing time. That's where I'm at right now. You can kind of see the background. Oh. And we are actually still masking, but I think I'm okay with the doors closed and everything. We're good.
No worries. So, if you need to throw it on there if somebody comes in, no worries. We completely understand.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm just living my dream. I'm facing this empty nest, and right now it's just time for me. And that's why this experience is such a gift.
That's amazing.
It really is. It is. And yes, I'm a published author, and now I'm learning how to become a better author. And that's what we've been talking about quite a bit this past week.
That's so exciting. How inspiring too, just the location. Has it really inspired your writing, do you feel?
It has. I was really stuck that coming to the retreat was really about my daughter, and it wasn't so much about me, and I really didn't have any idea what I could write about. And it really was a writer's block. And second day in, at the end of the day, the next morning, it just clicked. What I knew, what I wanted to write about. So I have something that is brewing inside of me, and I've been working on it. And it's interesting because some of the roadblocks that I had were, what do I write about? Do I want to write about my own life? Do I want to write about fiction? And then the other piece was, do I want to write it by hand, or do I want to write or type it on my laptop? And I didn't realize that was a block for me. And when I started writing by hand, it just started flowing and it just started coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, I have a story. So it's very exciting to be in the right place.
Absolutely. And what you just said is so fascinating to me. And I think a really, really important lesson to pass on to our fellow writers, that your writer's block may even be as simple as your writing technique that may be stopping you. And I can relate to that, in that, I know so many people who can dictate their stories, like do the speech to text type thing. And
Mhm.
my brain doesn't work that way. My brain won't allow me to just speak a story. Whereas if I'm typing it out on my laptop, I'm considered a pantser, because I can just sit down and start writing right from the top of my head, and it just goes through my fingertips. But it doesn't work the other way for me. And
Mhm.
so that was a really great lesson right there, that, not only,
It was.
of course, if you can pick up and go to Italy to break your writer's block, that would be ideal.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't have to be Italy. It's just kind of one of those mindsets that, and it was one of those things where I just let it go. I was so bent on, I don't have a story. I don't know what to be writing. I'm in Italy. I've spent all this money for a writing retreat and I don't have anything to write about. And I was so attached to that. And then when I was just like, I just let it go, that's when it surfaced. And that control thing, it's like that resistance piece really
Right.
made the difference for me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And, and I think a big part of that is, especially when, ironically, especially when you've already written and published a book, there's a feeling that comes over you, or in a lot of writers, that is the magic going to strike again? Am I going to be inspired again? Will I find it again? And you get so locked, like you said, in that mindset of fear, almost, of it not coming back to you, that you
Mhm.
push the muse away, essentially, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's been interesting. We've been doing like morning exercises where we will like um, write down numbers 1 through 10, and then write down all the A words that you can think of, or write down all the Z words that you can think of. And it's an exercise to clear your mind so that you're open to whatever, wants to come in. It sounds really crazy. It sounds like that's garbage, but it
Mhm.
really works.
That's
Um,
incredible. Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. All right,
Mhm.
so now let's kind of go backwards a little bit. So tell me a little bit about your, of course, I want to talk all about your book, because it's something I really, really am into and love. But give me a little bit of your background first. How did you get from wherever you were to here?
Sure. So I worked corporately before my third child was born, Emma, the one that is here in Italy with me, or in Paris. And so I became a stay-at-home mom. And so I let go of my corporate connections. And as I faced an empty nest, I realized that I needed to find myself. And I was part of a mastermind group, an entrepreneur mastermind. And I would do the comparison thing. I would go to these meetings pre-COVID in person. And during our breaks, I would go to the ladies' room, literally do breathing exercises. And I would do the self-talk that I am okay, I'll be okay, I don't understand, I don't need to understand. And I'd go back in the meeting and then all was good. And I put on that front, like everything was going great. And then that's when the idea of taking my personal journal and transcribing it and creating a book. So it really was the stepping stone for me to be here in Italy.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, and I feel like it was really a confidence builder more than anything for me, because the difference between those who are successful and those who aren't are those who have self-doubt. So as someone who has spent her entire life in self-doubt and second guessing myself, I know firsthand how difficult it can be as an entrepreneur. So, I mean, I've had my fair share of ups and downs, and I've learned that having confidence, that strong belief, is really what counts most when it comes to succeeding in business and in life. And my book is affirmations. It's positive self-talk. It's recording new scripts that reinforce that I am okay, I'm worthy of success, success is waiting for me, I'm open to receiving it. And so what I've done in the book is I've shared my affirmations. So for that person that is stuck and can't quite figure out what to say, I've done all the hard work for you.
Ah, that's so nice. I love that. And, so
Yeah.
everything that you've said is just so incredibly relatable. And I know people listening and watching are going to feel the same way. And that, I always say and think and believe that, we're really our own worst enemy. We're always what stands in our own way. We think there's all these obstacles in our way. And most of the time it's just us and our self-doubt. And,
Oh, yeah.
I can totally relate to the self-talk, I've been a master of negative self-talk for forever, my whole life. And it wasn't until adulthood when I realized pretty much the same thing that you did, that, I have to take control of this and I have to create the path that I want to be in. No one's going to do it for me. And the first step to that is, of course, speaking kindly to yourself and building yourself up, And yes, I'm a big fan of affirmations so much. And your book, I Have Time for You, is the name of it, correct?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so, and what a great concept. I don't think there can ever be enough affirmation style books in the world because they're so valuable. So yeah, so can you share with us you have something in there, there's something on your website, it says something about the 7 principles. Can you talk a little bit about the 7 principles?
Sure. So when I joined this entrepreneur group, I was running a digital marketing business, which I still do. And I do email follow up with people. I write emails every day. I'm blogging. And the comparison thing came when I saw myself as unsuccessful in my digital marketing business. And so basically what I created was 7 secrets that I used to help me build my business, my online business. Ironically, COVID came, people started working their businesses online. And I was doing this pre-COVID. And I was like, you know what, there's a lot of people that just, I can save them a lot of time and energy by sharing these secrets. So it is a free download on my website, and anyone is welcome to use those. And as you're going through them, if you're confused or have questions, I'm completely open to answering any questions for anybody you're helping out. Because I've learned too, is that life is about collaborations and partnerships. So I really appreciate being on your podcast today, because I believe this is a partnership. We are helping each other. And when we choose to partner instead of work against each other or to one up one another, that goes nowhere. Nobody sees success when that happens. But when we partner together and build each other up, it's just that law of attraction. Everything just magically works out. So yeah,
Yes.
those 7 tips are there for anyone, for them to use and ask questions.
That's fantastic. And, I know the word karma gets thrown around loosely so often, but I do think that is such good, beautiful karma to have that attitude of, givingness, really, and openness, and being willing to share. And I've said it many times, one of the things that I truly have come to love about the authorship world, our little tribe, so to speak, is that I've found, and I don't know if that's everyone's experience, but I've found that everyone is so generous with their hard-earned knowledge and experience, and are more than happy to share. And I think that really does. I think, just like you said, I think it can only bring good things for everyone involved. I don't. I was never keen on competition. And, and I always love, I saw it I don't know when I saw it, it's, well known, but the only person I compete with is myself. And when I read that, I said, oh, now that resonates. That makes perfect sense to me. I just want to be better than the person that I was yesterday. And I don't need to take you down to build myself up. And I can only build myself up by helping the person that's behind me, essentially, right?
Exactly, because it raises the bar.
Mhm.
It puts you at another level that something else better is going to show up. So it just goes up and up and up. So
Yeah.
well
Oh,
said. I love
it's
it.
such a great experience. Now, tell me about the process now of writing the book. Now I want to get into like the kind of like the technical stuff. Did you find it difficult? Was it easy? Did it come naturally? Tell me about some of the obstacles and came in your way with that, if any.
When I wrote I Have Time for You, I was still second guessing myself. I still had a lot of self-doubt going. And it really was a healing book for myself. And I knew that if I could heal myself, it would help others heal themselves. And definitely a stepping stone for, again, just being here in Italy with these amazing people and other authors that I can learn from. And yeah, I forgot your question.
That's okay. That's okay. I do that all the time. I forget my own questions constantly. Yeah, just the process, and actually your answer is really perfect. It's fantastic, because I love that I love the authenticity of it, and that's what I'm hearing coming through when you talk about that process. And I think that's what resonates with readers and listeners and viewers, whatever the case may be. Just being authentic and real and relatable, I think, is so huge. So somebody reading your book isn't going to go, oh, this woman knows everything, her life is perfect and she's got it all. No, this is somebody who's navigating life just like everyone else. And I think that makes it even more impactful, really.
Yeah, as soon as I was finished publishing my book, I wrote down all the steps that I went through because it was a journey that I didn't have anybody. I had to keep asking and asking. I didn't know that there were podcasts and people like you that I could go to and ask questions. I had to figure it out on my own the hard way. And I wrote down the steps that I took so that when someone came to me and said, hey, you know what, I want to become an author. And I have these steps ready to answer because I knew I'd probably forget them, just like I did a minute ago. But I just feel like, why not help the next person and make it easier for them? Because they may have something that they can share with me or help me, or not, and that's okay. Because it really is about being authentic and being transparent and being vulnerable. Yes. And that's when all the good things come your way.
Oh, that's so true. So true. And I've seen it and experienced it time and time again. And, I love doing interviews like this because it's, I'm learning something every time, and I get to connect with amazing people who are on just incredible journeys in their life. And like you, who are willing to share that with others to help other people. And, that just it makes me smile every time. I love it. So I sincerely appreciate you doing what you do and being vulnerable, because that's really when you do this whole process and almost ironically, your aim with your book is to help people build their confidence, but by doing so, you're also exposing yourself and making yourself vulnerable, right?
Definitely. Because by sharing my story with other women, and it encourages them to follow their passions. So I hope to serve as an inspiration and help women ignite their own sense of confidence. Because after all, we make the choice to trust in ourselves and step out of our comfort zones. Like me being in Italy, whoa, this is way out of my comfort zone. But because of this, anything is possible.
Oh yeah, the minute you step out of your comfort zone and discover that you're actually okay, that you've, and even if it's something negative, like, of course, this is a very positive experience, but, even when it's something negative, I think that teaches you that you can handle things that you maybe would have never thought that you could handle. So, yeah, what a great lesson and an experience to share with everyone. Now, I don't want to, I don't want to take anything away from what you're working on, but can you give us any kind of hint as to what you're working on? What's coming up next? It's okay if you can't, but I really would love to know.
No, I'm not ready yet. Tomorrow night will be our last night together, and I will have to share that with the group. One other thing I wanted to share is we talk a lot about metaphors and how you can take two different things. And as an author, this is a really great exercise that you can take two completely different words and journal how to tie those two words together. I should have written down some examples, but it was, we really, as an author, it's our challenge to tie words together. And when you work on an exercise like that, it opens up your mind, that you can come up with things that you didn't think was possible. So just like me finding a storyline that I could write about, I didn't think that was possible. I really was blocked. But so like taking the word rainbow and dirt and then creatively come up with something. How can I tie those two words together? Thistle and jewelry, just random words, putting those two words together and just kind of like dialoguing. And that was one of the exercises that we did. And I really believe doing things like that opened up my mind. So very, very powerful retreat that I'm at. I'm
That's
very,
so cool.
very grateful.
So safe to say you would absolutely recommend writers retreats. Yes.
Yes. Masterminds. That's right now what I'm doing with my digital marketing business. I have a mastermind where I help people, entrepreneurs, femalepreneurs get unstuck, because I truly believe it's mindset. And when you're working with a group of like-minded people, you work together and find solutions. You don't stay stuck. You move forward with the help of, again, like-minded people.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think that's so great and such great advice to help yourself out of that mindset, because I think especially for writers, as we know, it's such an isolated task that you're doing. You can only write your book and you're by yourself, and you tend to get into that bubble mindset that no one else can relate to you, no one can understand what you're going through, no one can help you, and couldn't be further from the truth that the minute you start speaking to people in your universe, in your lane, so to speak, you get these incredible insights, and it is very eye-opening and mind-opening too. So yeah, great advice. I love it. Now, Lisa, tell everyone where they can find your book, where they can find you, and all the other great stuff that you have going on.
Okay, so my website is my name with my middle initial, so it's lisarcarmichael.com. And Wednesday, I just finished up our first mastermind in 2022. So now I'm accepting applications for the second mastermind. It's an intimate group of 10 female entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, aspiring influencers, and I'm accepting applications for that. And if you want to see about my travels here in Italy, follow me on Instagram. And there again, it's my name, Lisa R. Carmichael. And yeah, I'm having a blast.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's funny. I was just going to ask you that too, that if there was a way to follow your adventures there in Italy. So I'm so excited. So I can get over on Instagram and follow. So, just forewarning you, I'll be your new little cyber stalker there, not in a creepy way.
I'll stalk you back.
It sounds so fascinating, and of course you have like pictures and all that kind of good stuff.
Oh yeah. I did a couple of reels this week, and oh my gosh, yeah, I'm patting myself on the back. They really turned out nice. If you like Ed Sheeran, there's that Italian singer. Do you remember when he had that? He and some Italian gentleman did I Found Love. I can't think of what the name, and I don't want to
Oh,
start singing.
yeah. Yeah, I know the song.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and the other guy was singing it in Italian, and I put that on a reel, and I looked at it, and I'm like, "Hell, I created that." I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but yeah, I've been having fun. I've been having a lot of fun. I do have to share. I started out in Rome. I've been to Milan. I've been to Cinque Terre. I went to Florence. I went to Sicily, and now I'm in Tuscany Valley. It's just a whirlwind. I was this close to going to Greece, but
Um, oh my God, it's like
and
a
I
dream.
it really is. And the lesson learned with this, and I'm not bragging, but what I'm saying is that I chose to live the lifestyle that I've always dreamt of and to let go of that fear. You mentioned the word fear before. And yeah, it is scary, but if you have the mindset that you know everything will be okay, and instead of thinking of the word anxiety, choose the word excitement, it's like a flip the switch kind of thing. So it's all about excitement, and I'm very grateful to be here. And I'm grateful to be here on your show with you, Elsa.
Thank you so, so much. I mean, I'm so grateful. You are in beautiful, amazing Italy, and you were so gracious to actually let me steal like a half hour of your time away from that. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for doing that. Very, very
My
much.
pleasure. Yeah, for sure.
And I would love to have you back on again in the future at your convenience when you're ready. I'd love to hear more about whatever the next book is that we don't know anything about, which is actually exciting too. I like a little bit of mystery, so that's good.
Good,
But
good.
definitely you are more than welcome to come back anytime you want to sit and chat and tell me about your adventures and all that great stuff.
It sounds good. I will add, when I was going to share what I was writing with the person that's leading the course, she's like, keep your thoughts, because you need to get those out on paper before you start talking about it. Because when you start talking about it, you lose that momentum, you lose a lot.
I
So
get
that's
that.
why, yeah. So as an author, it's not all about telling everybody exactly what you're doing. It's like, let's get it on paper first, and
Yes.
then explain it.
You know, you're so right. And I know that in my excitement in past experiences, in my excitement about a book idea that I have, or had,
Mhm.
and I've shared it with people. And one thing that people, and it's not a knock on them, but it's just human nature. They can't help but do it. But then they start implanting their own thoughts and ideas on what should happen with the book. And, you hear, I don't know if you've heard this from people. They're like, oh, you know what you should write.
Oh yeah,
And it
yeah,
it
yeah.
muddies everything. It muddies everything in
Mm-hmm.
your head, and then you start, that self-doubt kicks in again.
Yes,
So I think that's a really valid point. I think you're
yeah.
right that keep it, hold it close, and when the right time
Mm-hmm.
to put it out in the universe, that's when you
Mm-hmm.
do it. So I
Yeah,
totally
we don't need
respect that.
any more shiny objects than that are already popping
Yes.
up at us.
Exactly. Oh, Lisa, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm going to let you get back to beautiful, beautiful Italy. Enjoy. How
Thank
much longer
you.
do you have there? You're going to be there for how long?
I I fly out of Rome on Sunday. So
Oh,
today's Thursday. So a couple more days. So I've been
oh,
here for
yes.
about 3 weeks. So it's been amazing.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Dream come
Well,
true. Never
oh,
imagined anything like this.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, absorb all of it. Take every note that you can, and we look here forward to hearing more about all of it. So thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
All right. Take care. All right, guys, that was Lisa Carmichael, author of I Have Time for You. You can go check that on her website. We have that right below us there on the screen. So you go check it out, go check her out, and follow her on Instagram as well, and follow her adventures because they sound amazing. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.